So after suffering a devastating defeat of losing 50% of my account, going back down to around £489, I have got my account back up to £1,000. And many lessons have been learned. But one of the most important lessons that I think you can take away from this is that there is a massive difference between a strategy and a plan. And I thought that this strategy that I was creating, all these trades that I was taking, I was creating a plan. But all I was doing was creating an executable strategy to place trades, but had no plan for when those strategies would take place in certain market conditions, right? So you need a plan for market conditions. Otherwise, you can't execute your strategy properly, because then you're just executing a strategy across market conditions that are not necessarily is built for, right? So let's dive into it. So what you're looking at is the M15 model that I have created to trade gold. Now, gold has actually reignited my passion for trading to a whole new level. I mean, I love the way this thing moves. And personally, I didn't think I could tame gold. I didn't think it was tameable. I mean, this thing moved 200, 300, 400 pips a day. I was just like, this is crazy. How's anyone meant to trade this? But with certain market structure, it's even more predictable than some Forex pairs, to be honest with you. So as I was saying, you need a plan for market conditions. For certain market conditions, you need to plan in order to trade your strategy, right? So you need a plan for when you can see a potential for a counter trend reversal. You need to define what happens there. You need a plan as how that happens, so then you can execute your strategy over that plan. You need a plan for a pro trend reversal. You need a plan for a continuation, right? Because if you don't have a plan for market conditions, then you can't execute your strategy. Otherwise, you're just executing your strategy across patterns that you're seeing, which is not going to end well in the long run, right? It's not going to continuously give you consistent results because you're just executing a strategy across patterns that you're seeing. And that's basically what I've been doing, wasting my fucking time for the past 4 years, thinking that I've created a trading plan when I'm just executing strategies across market patterns. And that's just not the way the fucking game works. It's ridiculous. Like, what have I been doing all this fucking time, right? So this model that I'm about to demonstrate to you will show you how to create a plan that you can execute your strategy on top of across market conditions. Okay, so here we have a market condition, a trending market condition, right? This is a trending phase. You can see highs being broken, lows not being broken, highs being broken, and we have our break of structure. This is current market condition. So now there's 3 areas here that we can potentially trade, that we need a plan for, right, to execute our strategy on top of it, right? So we most likely will have a demand zone that most people are looking down here for a point of interest. So when I'm talking about a plan, we need a plan to potentially trade a reversal. Hold on, where is it? We need a plan to trade a reversal, right? Counter trend reversal, potentially back down to our point of interest. We need a strategy to execute once it comes down to our point of interest to then go pro trend. But let's just say for a moment that it doesn't come down to our point of interest and decides to, I don't know, turn back at the 50% area, okay, and then continue. So we need a plan for that. We need a plan that defines the shift in structure, and then we can execute our strategy on top of that. We need a plan for when it hits our point of interest, okay, which most people have. This is like the basic stuff, right? But there's 3 points of interest here that we need a plan for in order to execute our strategy. Reversal at the top once it breaks us, because we know we're potentially going to expect a pullback, right? But then we need a plan for when the point of interest that we're actually looking at doesn't get hit and the market starts to shift in the pro trend direction. And then we need a plan or we need a strategy to basically align ourselves pro trend once it hits our point of interest, that being area of demand, right? So there's 3 areas that we needed to focus, that we need a plan for. Most people have a plan for this. Most people don't have a plan for this or have a plan for this, right? This is just simple stuff. But this doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, it's like you can just go in cold and just execute, right? And this is basically where I was going wrong. I was just coming up with a strategy to execute without thinking about, where do I need to execute this? I had the most basic one, yeah, but what about all the other places? Because why would you not want to try and place that trade, that counter trend reversal? On gold, that's like potentially 200 pips. And if you do miss your point of interest, why are you going to miss out on trading up to that next break of structure, or potentially more? Because what, you haven't defined a plan in order to execute your strategy on top of it. And that's just not fair. It's not right, because there's so much opportunity to trade. But if you don't have a plan, a definitive plan for these scenarios, then you won't know how to execute your strategy on top of it. Okay? So let's just go back to the model. Location is one that I've done already. And location is basically when the market is simply going sideways, right? So we have to ask ourselves the first question. Was a new high or low created? This is a market condition. Here and here. So no new high was created. This signifies we are now in a sideways structure. Okay? That's what that signifies. When no new high or new low has been created, if we're in a bearish trend, but if we're in a bullish trend and no new high has been created, right, then we are in a sideways range. So what do? We put on our location tool. And now all we want to be doing is trading at these edges. But what do we do at these edges? Right? How do we define that for ourselves? Because we have a plan. Was a new high or low created? No. Perfect. We now know that we're in a sideways range. Are you in a sell high or buy low location? If you're not in a sell high location, or you're not in a buy low location, right, you're in the middle, that means there is no trade. So this right here is a sell high location, sell high location, sell high location, buy low, buy low, buy low. Perfect. So anything that's happening in the middle, so let's say we get an order block form in the middle here, we don't want to take that trade, right? Our plan has set that up for us. It's defined that for us. So we understand that we have to be in a sell high or buy low location in order to take a trade. But what do we look for? What's our plan telling us, right? This is where we start getting to more strategy. Has an engulfing structure or buy to sell or sell to buy formed at location edges? So if that's yes, then we can go into confirmation. If that's no, if no structure has formed that aligns with you, then it's no trade. So if the market has reached the sell high location and a bearish engulfing structure has formed, when the market comes back up to this sell high location at this point here, I'm simply going to go down to the M2, look for an M2 event break. I haven't heard that in a while. I'm actually using it back again and it's absolutely phenomenal. And we can place that trade to take it back down to the edge where we can take profit, right? Or potentially take profit. Now we go into the confirmation. Is the confirmation going to be a cold entry, meaning that M15 engulfing structure, has it got enough? Is it enough in terms of the risk? Does it qualify for your risk parameters that you can just take it cold because you know you're in a sideways range? You could potentially just take it cold instead of waiting for the M2 event break, or you're going to play the M2 event break. So you give yourself the options, right? And that's entirely up to you. That's where you decide. And then where to take profit. Do you take profit at the opposite location edge? Or do you take profit at a closer OB because you know it has the potential to shift direction because maybe it's been in that range for like, I don't know, maybe a day or so? So you can see here, let's just say this has been arranged for, let's just say it's been arranged for a day, right? And we can see that potentially that, you know, you could take another trade here, the market push down, but it only goes to the 50%. Maybe hits an order block that's inside here, we don't know, and then it breaks out, right? Now we have a much larger contraction area. This is an expansion, comes back into here for mitigation, and then it goes up into the trend. What's your plan for this move when it comes back and mitigates? Are you going to be looking for an engulfing structure inside here on the M15? Are you going to wait for potentially an M15 event break, give you more confirmation, come back down into that bullish engulfing structure, and then take that trend to the upside? Are you going to even go into the minutia when it gets down here, look for an M2 event break, try and get a really tight entry? What's your plan? And this has been the massive game changer for me. Like, you need a plan for every single market condition. Because when I was looking at my trading logs, it was hard to put everything in because I was trading different market conditions and trying to put all of this in one trading log. So now I have 3 that represent this picture over here. I have a trading log for counter trend reversals. I have a trading log for pro trend reversals, trading log for continuations, right? And a trading log for locations. So this is the most vital thing that is so important, to have a plan for every market condition. So when a market condition presents itself, you're not guessing of how to execute your strategy. You're simply waiting for your plan to play out so you can execute your strategy on top of your plan. And this has been a massive game changer for me, because for all these past 4 years, I thought my strategy was my plan, and I had it all wrong. So I hope this has given you some insight. I hope this has opened your mind in terms of what you now need to do if you're in the same situation that I am, or you've recognized the situation that I was in as the situation that you're in, and how to define that for yourselves. And you can move forward without all the fucking drama. I'll see you in the next video.